Farm4Profit podcast. Take a listen, have a blast. Farm4Profit podcast. Learn about farming while having a laugh. Farm4Profit podcast.
Hey listeners, welcome back to the Farm for Profit podcast. I guess we could say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Is this a fun show, or what is Christmas on a Monday or Thursday this year?
Christmas is on a Monday. So this is technically a
you were going to
profit
get
show.
some value out of this. This is
No.
our
We're going to get some value.
No, there's no value.
this is
coming
the
out of this
Farm for Profit Christmas party,
show. Oh,
and we've busted out the fancy stuff.
your Christmas presents aren't here yet.
Kelly Garrett beef sticks, GLC beef, some Blantons. What do you got?
Buffalo trays. There's some Bush Light back here.
Bush lattes.
All these people we need
Dave's
to send
drinking his water because he's doing 75 flaccid.
in my Sugar Express
There we go.
Stanley.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a time to do 75-day hard right through the holidays.
I figure if you're going to do it, you got to make a concession. You might as well do it over the
Okay.
hardest point.
For those who don't know what 75-day hard is, what is that?
It is a mental toughness and physical toughness challenge
Okay.
where you work out twice a day. One is supposed to be outside, so I'm kind of doing 75 soft.
I said flaccid.
And
Because it's in Iowa.
And so still working out, you're supposed to have a diet. Doesn't matter what the diet is. Any diet.
Yeah.
Could be Atkins, could be keto, could be whatever. Mine is eat less and less carbs. That's my diet.
Okay.
And then you're supposed to drink a gallon of water a day,
Now
which is tough.
Is that hard?
It was at first, and then somebody said drink out of a straw. And I was like, what? And it's amazing how much easier it is to drink a gallon of water out of a straw.
I do believe that. I believe it. Anytime I use a straw, you get one of them 32-ounce Casey's
Yep.
fountain drinks. I don't get them, like my wife will. And then all of a sudden, half of it's drank. Being on a road trip, like, ooh.
I'll do that with like iced tea. Get a
Yeah.
Casey's iced tea, and you're right. It doesn't seem to last very long. But when I mix a cocktail, I don't want a straw.
Yeah, unless you're going to get drunk fast.
Ooh.
Really? It even works with mixed drinks?
I think it would. It goes right down the hatch.
Yeah, probably.
Prob-
Why is that? Do
probably
you think
not
it just bypasses your teeth
I think it
and
does.
goes right down the old food hole and slides right in? So,
Yeah.
So you have that Sugar Express cup, which is a bigger plastic straw.
Yep.
It is clear, which is nice, but it always weirds me out. Like, my wife will have cups like that, and it's like a black or a solid green straw, and I'm like, do you know that's clean?
That's the only thing I don't like about this mug is it is very feminine.
Yeah.
And every girl I see has the exact same Stanley, and they have the straw. Now, guys have coffee cups, and if you didn't have a straw, it'd
Yeah.
look more manly. But
It'd be a manly Stanley?
it'd be a manly Stanley. This is very, very feminine. It's a girl thing to have a Stanley.
Stanley's a tried and true brand. I used my dad, or maybe it was my grandpa's old green thermos that everyone's seen.
cup is the
in
top.
duck- yeah.
Yep.
Cup built in.
Yep.
And I thought they were going to die when Yeti came around.
Right.
Because everyone had, this isn't a Yeti cup, this is a RTIC,
Arctic.
I think. But, boy, you thought they were going to die. Nope. They're right back to it.
How
Then-
long did it take for you to realize that RTIC was Arctic?
I don't know. I just knew it by the polar bear.
Yeah, then these
Okay.
guys came on, and a Yeti was, instead of being $40, was
Right.
20 or
Right.
15 or whatever. So.
Yeah. I think they split up or whatnot. But
For now, every husband that got a Stanley from his wife underneath the Christmas tree
Yep.
is going to be pissed that you think they're girly.
They're well, maybe it's the teal color. I don't know. It's all right. You guys got them too, so
Look,
They
these-
do fit in a cup holder nicely.
they do. And these are labeled.
But that does not fit in a shelf in your kitchen.
No, it doesn't.
There's no shelf that holds that unless you got a bar and it's
'Cause
an
this-
open top.
I don't understand why Stanley had to make them so big. Couldn't you do the same thing but make it 4 inches shorter?
You could. I don't know. It's two.
I would drink it
It's
out of-
2 bottles of water. Like if you had 2 bottles of water,
It's
that'll fill
32
it.
ounces.
Yeah. It's good. So if you drink that 4 times a day,
Right.
you get close to your gallon, and then you got to read 10
Yeah,
pages.
that's a quart, Dave.
Yeah.
If you sprayed, you would know that. 32 ounces.
I know, right?
4 quarts in a gallon.
Got it.
Then you got to read 10
2
pages.
pints.
So have you finished a book yet?
Yes. Million Acres Sold. I reread that book, and then I'm reading Relentless. Is a hard book, basically, to make sure you're mentally tough.
Nice.
It's probably like some sexual fantasy book.
Relentless. It is. It's like 50 Shades of Grey Part 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
were 50 Shades of Grey was a great movie. I mean, Not that I saw the movie, but just everything that spurred from it. The women just loved it.
A lot more open communication.
Showed a different side of people
Right.
that we
good.
liked.
Well, do we want a purpose for this show? I mean, obviously we're here to entertain our listeners, but do we actually want a purpose? Do we want a direction?
If you had a purpose, what would it be?
I'm here for you guys. I can direct the direction. Direct the direction. The director directing the direction.
I'm the director.
You're gonna direct this?
No, it's just my title.
We could just update everybody on the year.
We could talk about where we've been.
Yeah. So
We've been a lot of places.
We did.
Do you have our calendar open?
I don't have the calendar open, but I was doing some thinking on the way here. You remember the first conference that we went to?
Ever or this year?
This year.
NACADE.
It was. We got NACADE in January.
Yeah. The North American
Conservation.
Conservation and Drainage Expo.
Yes. And we won't be there in 2024.
Because they don't have one.
Because it's ruined by the Democratic National Convention. Or not National Convention, the Democratic Caucus in Iowa.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
Yep.
yeah, you can't get a hotel or nothing.
Can't get anything done. So it'll be next year in Indianapolis or Indiana?
Yeah, I believe so. They moved it
Yeah.
a little bit further east.
But that was cool. We got to hang out with Tony Reed. Got to hang out with Ryan Kelly. Got to meet a professor from Minnesota. Obviously, the Midwest Trencher guys that nominated Tony for president.
Yeah, wasn't that a great setup for them? Like they, I remember in our planning meetings, it started, I think, August of 22.
Yep.
It went all the way back that far. And they're like, do you think you could get Tony Reed? And we're like, oh, yeah, we're good friends with him, whatever. And that was kind of a negotiated thing. Tony came, and then now, Tony's with them at every event.
That's right.
It's pretty cool, the connections that happen in this.
It really is. But that's probably what 23 was for us, was just more connections. More people that we get to connect with. I don't know if I should – maybe I could church up the joke that I just got from Bob. Did you get the Snapchat from Bob today about Clint Yeager?
Yeah, I did.
Uh-huh.
I didn't laugh.
You didn't?
No, did you?
I thought it was funny. But that's the cool part is I before this podcast, I didn't get random Snapchats.
You got to realize
from
what I
listeners.
was doing, though. I was like, I can't even say it. I was balls deep in taxes.
That's not fair. You weren't in the right frame of mind.
No, I wasn't. I don't know how you did it every day, sitting behind a desk and just staring at a computer.
Do you have any analytics this year? That's what everybody's doing this time of year.
Oh,
he's
I
doing
could
his
do that.
taxes, and we're like, I know how much volume I sold and how many acres I sold and how many of those jobs were farmland versus personal property.
I can get analytics. That won't take me very long.
Yeah.
I do want to start with the listener review. We don't usually do listener reviews on profit shows, but this one came off of TikTok, and it came from the great, is it the great Blue Hat Detector? So it's got a blue hat in his username. And he said, not everyone should do podcasts.
Oh, is that the one I responded to today?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Freaking asshole.
What's the point of a comment like that?
Did you like my response?
I do. I love it. Farm4Profit responded, "This is true, but not here. Thanks for the algorithm boost. Taking the time with your negative typing."
See you next year.
Already going to have to bleep 2 words out of this show.
That's all right.
What if he meant that we were good? Not everybody's as good as you.
I don't think the comment was set up that way.
This is why
I did
don't
look. He
like
does
text.
follow us. So I was like,
Oh, really?
I was like, weird.
Like maybe he thought our podcast was so much better than everybody else's.
And nobody else should do, or not everybody else.
Not
should
everybody
do?
else should do podcasts. Not everybody's set for it. But you guys, he just forgot the second part of the sentence.
Crazy.
But you guys
Awesome.
are
The best. That's actually kind of neat. So we came across Kelly Garrett here with our beef provider, tagged us in a post this morning that we were number 3 on top ag podcasts to listen to.
Did you see my comment on that?
I did. Correct. It says we have 840 followers on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which is only about 28,000 short.
Oh man.
It's just those don't matter. It was cool to be number
the
3
ranks.
on a list, but then we also got tagged in a list 2 weeks ago where we made another top 40 of all podcasts. So that's kind of neat. Had a really great year. So I will dive into a little bit of our stats here to share with the group. But we went from NACADE down to Louisville. That was our next stop. And
National Farm Machinery Show.
we almost got shot, right, Corey? Or you thought I was getting stabbed? What was?
It must have been because I wasn't with you. That's right. You guys were. He went to get
you
something.
were.
I was gone.
You
I was
weren't
at the
there.
cattle show.
That's
Where
right.
were we getting shot?
You and I went in to get my Buffalo Trace that I'm drinking.
Oh, on the way home. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Tanner bought like 15 bottles for people down there.
Oh yeah.
I am a nice guy.
And he couldn't find one more or wanted to get one more Buffalo Trace. Is that the bottle?
It actually is the bottle.
So I better drink that thing because I about died because of it. On the way out of town. And he just like, I found a liquor store on the way out of town right off the interstate. And we pull in, and it is in the projects. And it is
didn't look that
Saturday morning
It didn't look
at
that
8
bad.
a.m. right by a bus stop, and guys are drinking out of brown paper bags. And we pulled in.
It was probably chocolate milk.
Probably. I mean, that's what I drink my chocolate milk out of, is a brown paper bag. And we pulled in, and Tanner goes in, and Snark is in the back. And it's just, look at those guys over there. They're having a good time. You know, their Friday night's still going.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they saw the TV in the back, the 50-inch TV.
We had all of our gear in the truck.
All of this rolling chest, speakers.
Yeah.
And they started looking, hauling around. And one guy walked around the truck, in front of the truck, and then stood by the door. And I'm texting Tanner. I'm like, get the hell out of there now.
And I'm not responding because
And Snark is
I'm booze shopping.
Chirac is a Chicago, veteran. Like, knows bad parts of town.
Did you call it a Chirac?
Chirac.
I never heard that.
Well, there's 25 deaths a week or shootings a week.
Oh my goodness.
So Tanner's not getting these, and he's just la 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 la. I'm like, dude, you beeline
I want
for the
this
truck
bottle.
when you come out.
I want
that
this
guy
bottle.
made eye contact with me and Snark in the truck, and he's bad news. He was bad news, and I locked the doors, and all I had was a little 2-inch pocket knife on me. And Snark's like, "You got a gun in here?" I'm like, "Dude, it's Tanner's truck. I doubt it.
I doubt it.
And so he was freaking out. And when the Chicago veteran, really gets worried, I get worried.
Yeah.
I'm like, Snark, we can take this guy, but we can't take all those other guys if that happens. Like, Tanner needs to get out of here now.
I came out with my booze.
But luckily someone else was walking in like right before or after and kind of had the guy distracted, and you came straight out and didn't turn right when you came out.
That's right. I went straight to the back of the truck.
You guys left the truck locked?
Oh, yeah. And then he couldn't get in the back. He's like, unlock it. I'm like, dude, just get up here.
Just get up.
I mean, literally, so, you call the cops. Where do you even tell them you're at? I have no idea where I'm at. I'm somewhere in Louisville.
North of the National Farm Machinery Show.
Like 2 miles north of the National Farm Machinery Show.
At a liquor store. Yeah.
I'll see you in 60 minutes when you find me dead.
But that was a good trip overall.
Great trip.
You're just scarred by the last few moments.
I forgot about it. So
until I brought it up. Mm-hmm. But we got to go. That was the first time actually attending the tractor pull. We got to go in and watch the tractor pull. We got to do a tour of the Peerless Distilling Company. Mm-hmm. We've got way too much Peerless in our houses. Maybe not anymore.
Something about going and touring a place, like, I just want to buy their stuff, and they upsell it so great.
They did. We went back to the office where they only had a couple of bottles left from a barrel. And, of course, you're like, oh, you got 3 bottles of that? We'll take them. Yeah. You mean that's the last 3 bottles? We'll take it. Mm-hmm. There'll never be a bottle like it again.
The next group, they probably set the next 3 out there. Yep, that's the last one.
This is the last 3.
Well, that was a good trip. That was we missed you, Dave, but you were being a fantastic husband.
Mm-hmm.
And dad.
We didn't tour. We went into the Louisville Slugger Museum.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. Huge, giant baseball bat on the street. Food was good downtown.
Yeah. So before we jump into our next place that we stopped, if you had to guess, if you think back to all the episodes we recorded this year, what is our most downloaded in 2023?
I know this, so it's
you watched the Spotify Wrapped I sent you?
Yeah.
Which was
It's not the one that I would have thought, though.
Okay, which one would you have thought? Did you watch the Wrapped?
Mm-mm.
So which one do you think, Dave, is the most downloaded?
It's going to be maybe a long shot, but remember when we interviewed at the John Deere booth?
Yeah.
And we talked about the old tractor that was there?
Yes.
That one had a lot of
Model D.
Yeah, that Model D had a lot of people. I don't know if that was the most, but
It's in the top 10.
it was a good one.
I would have thought maybe just because of the people, Tony Reed and Nick McCormick's.
Yeah, and that one flopped.
It did.
That one didn't do well.
That was at the Sukkot booth.
It's almost like
it
they
must
could-
have been Nick.
Or we
I
had
hope
to
he's
pivot.
listening.
We had to pivot at the last minute.
Yeah.
You know,
That too.
Yeah, which shouldn't have came through, but it did.
So it was a show, Dave, that was recorded out at Farm Progress Show.
Who's the young lady? Or no, the young farmer one. What about the young farmer one starting farming?
Also did well.
Gavin
also
and,
did
Gavin
well.
and Ethan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not it. So we basically knocked it out of the park out at Farm Progress Show.
Mm-hmm.
And the fascinating part is this is the most downloaded show of the year, and it only had a quarter of the year to get downloaded. Zach Johnson doing our question of the episode recap. We called it Wisdom of the Future. So it was not a bad show.
No.
It was entertaining.
Right.
It had 604%
Wow.
more downloads than any other episode this year.
So that's just the power of Zach.
I think it's the power of Zach. Yeah, it's probably.
I mean, I'm looking through, man. There is a bunch of heavy hitters, bunch of great topics. I mean, we had Chip Flory,
Yeah.
Noah, Shiloh Farm. He was on twice. Tyne Morgan,
Yeah. I thought Tyne might.
Bushels and Barrels. Ethan was a 2-time attender.
Yeah.
Farmer Bees. Kendall Johnson. He had probably some of the most metrics on social media with his mailbox story, hitting the mailbox.
Yeah. That was a good one. I'm trying to find.
Tara and Natalie, we had them on a couple times. Derek Josie, Marsha, Verin. Man, like, it was a great year.
One that was sneaky and did really well was the ROI of cattle buildings.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, we got.
I
they've
love
asked for more
cattle.
cattle. Yeah.
I love cattle, but like,
That was number 4 for the year.
yeah.
Justin Bruck.
Oh, yeah.
He was
Maya.
He was number 5. Gavin and Ethan came in at number 6. Torque came in at number 7. Bushels and Barrels. Was that this year?
Yeah.
That was it at number 9.
Because we did him at National Farm Machinery.
Number 10 was celebrating 100 years of the Model D.
Yep.
That's just for this year. That's not all-time downloads.
We had Randy the Farmer on.
Yeah.
Man.
Ryan Kelly did really well
Romp
on social
Chat.
media.
Junkyard Digs.
How'd that one do? I missed that one.
We need to get them back. That'll be a good in-studio one to get Mook, right? Mookie?
Yep. Mook.
Mook?
Junkyard Mook.
Get in here. How many countries do you think we were downloaded in, boys?
7.
60.
Not continents, countries.
60.
68. We were one shy away from being cool. Did you
Boy,
not spit
what's-
it up? You don't think being downloaded
So
in
2
60
more, we wouldn't have been cool?
No. You don't think being downloaded in 69 countries would have been really cool?
You got to go nice.
Nice. So, yeah, we went from National Farm Machinery Show and got to go to Orlando.
That was...
You guys came and joined me in Orlando at Commodity Classic. Was that the first time you had been? Because I got to go to Commodity Classic the year before.
That was my first time at Commodity Classic.
Same here. And it was blast. I don't know if I had more fun at the show or at the piano bar.
You did a good job of having fun at the piano bar.
I liked the atmosphere at the Commodity Classic. It's not like filled to the brim with people, but you can tell the people that are there like...
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Is that show versus like the other one? The grandmas were gone. The kids with strollers were gone.
Yep.
Or the, parents with strollers looking for all the free swag. And the people that were there were decision makers.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because you had to pay to be there.
Yeah. I mean, but the National Farm Machinery Show and shows like that is fun too because it's got that atmosphere of like the audience is there.
Yep.
Right? So, but it was just cool, not it was cool recording, but like being able to have a little bit more free time. We set a half day aside. We could go golf.
And it was the coolest booth I think we've ever been in.
Yeah, John Deere did.
John Deere did a
Yeah.
phenomenal job. Up top, upper deck.
Better than we deserve, probably.
I enjoyed that show, but it was a rough show for me.
Well,
I
it was rough for you from day one because
I came off a week from being at Disney
Yes.
Yeah.
with the family, and then I had too much to drink. Was that the first night?
I think so.
Second night. Whatever day we interviewed Tyne.
Oh, yeah, you struggled.
Boy, I hadn't been hungover in a long time. I'm sure that's what our sponsors want to hear.
But I don't even know that we were doing anything crazy that night. Like,
I think it was the piano bar.
yeah.
No, that was the first night. We didn't even go to the piano bar, did we?
What is
Oh, it was, we were at,
the Mexican restaurant.
not jalapeno.
You guys were
pizza or
somewhere else because
whatever
I
it was.
flew in because I was flying from somewhere else in.
That's right. You got in late.
I was auction school, so I was
Oh,
teaching
yeah.
auction school in
You
Montana.
think you were drunk that night? Emma was.
That's true.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, but that was fun. I mean, I think that's something we're going to do more often. Is we're going to come in early or stay late, and do more around the shows. But we had good food.
Right.
One cool thing I thought about that show. Remember all the people in red shoes?
Yes.
I want to talk about
Successful
marketing,
farming.
successful farming.
Yeah.
They had red shoes. Like what? I remember that. It was stood out that I remembered their name because all of their people had red shoes. And there was red shoes everywhere, brand new. And what cool way for your employees? Everybody got new kicks.
What color shoes should we get?
I don't know. We need some if you're wearing
John Deere green.
if you're
John
wearing these
Deere
shoes,
green.
you know you can custom make Air Force Ones
Oh,
at
yeah.
Nike.
Yeah.
My kid wants them for Christmas.
I think we need custom made John Deere green with some yellow strip.
I'd wear them.
Let's get on that.
And it would be a lot better with as much walking as we do at these shows. It'd be a lot better
I
than
don't
wearing
cowboy
boots.
boots.
I don't mind my boots, but yeah, be one little.
And we stand all day, usually.
A lot.
Then you don't look agriculture if you're not wearing your boots.
We don't need to. Why do we need to look at agriculture? Why do we need to look anything?
We're the eye candy.
Eye candy.
You know, that's what we get hired for.
Well, that's why Corey wears the hats with the braided freaking.
Yeah, he's sponsor free today.
Yep.
Look at you.
Well, it's Christmas party.
How do you like that show? You got Let's Get Lit Up.
Dude, this show is a commitment.
It is a commitment. It's so great.
The show is Suits, and I love it. But my God, I thought I was gonna knock this thing out. Like, I didn't look at how many seasons
I
there
didn't
were
either.
before I started.
I went 2 seasons deep, and I'm like, good golly, how many are there? There's like 9. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
we're
I'm
gonna
on
be-
like season 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And now instead of because I was going like 4 shows a night.
Yeah, same here.
Staying up till 2 in
Same here.
2 in the morning, and now it's like I'm back to being tired in the evening, so I might get half a show or a full show, and that's it. So
Yep, I did one a night for a while.
I'm too addictive. I don't watch TV, and this is why. When I do, it's like it consumes my life, and I don't like it. I don't let it like it's not like I stay home during the day and watch it, but like I'll turn it on after the kids go to bed. After I get into bed like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and it just takes all my time.
All of it?
And
Have
then
you ever
I'm-
watched
then I'm
Suits?
tired.
I have not.
Oh man, so
Needs
great.
to. It's just a big power struggle between people all the time.
Yep.
I
It's
could see
status
that
quo.
would get addicting.
Status quo and who holds it.
Right.
I could see that.
Yep.
That'd be good. Well, we took a little break after Commodity Classic until we went up to Wisconsin. It was almost Minnesota. We went through Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
We got to follow that car being towed by a rope on the interstate
Yeah.
at 80 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour.
Right.
We couldn't figure out why these cars were weaving through traffic like they were. And
Yeah, it
they
looked
were
like they were racing, and one was drafting.
right. And they were hooked together with a rope.
Yep. Yeah, and it's not like they were just limping it in the slow lane.
No flashers on.
No, just
Go.
straight up illegal.
Just
It was a
go.
TikTok.
The faster you could go, the better, right?
That's all right. I came down 35 once with a 16-foot Moco. I did get pulled over though.
Really?
Yeah.
How fast were you going?
The minimum. You got to be 60 or
40.
something.
40.
Yeah. Whatever the minimum was, that's what I was going.
Did you get a ticket?
I did not, and luckily because I tried to go down 69 at one time, the highway, but it was blocked. They had road construction, and it turned me like all the way back around with all the detours. I'm like, screw it, I'm hopping on the interstate. At least get down 3 or 4 exits and get past all this construction. So I did, and I got pulled over. The guy's like, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" And I said, "Look, I tried to go down 69. I even had it mapped. It was in my truck, and I'm like, look, I tried to go this way.
Oh, it's
it was
that
blocked.
long ago?
I tried to go
MapQuest?
this way.
You had
Yes, it
printed
was.
map just-
I did, and I was like, this is blocked. This is blocked. He's like, all right, they are blocked. I'll give you that. Get off the damn interstate.
Yeah.
So,
Well, open some more roads.
That's right. Can't have them all open.
So what were we doing in Wisconsin?
That was Truterra's field day. That was a different experience for us. We flew our drones around, got to do a live recording.
Field day.
Not very many farmers in that group.
Yeah, and going into that, I mean, they did good communication and just like getting us there and all that, but like they never told us, and maybe it was our fault for assuming
Right.
that it wouldn't be
Who
farmers.
would be attending, right?
But we were presenting about carbon credits to the likes of like Nike.
General Mills.
Yeah.
Yep. The
And-
downstream customers.
Yeah,
Or was it
upstream, downstream. I don't know.
That was a battle.
It was a battle.
Trying to keep all that
The
straight.
people that are consuming the carbon credits.
Yes.
Yeah. We had good food there too. Is it sad that I can remember what we ate at all these places?
We did have good food. That we sat outside on the pier.
Yeah.
That was at Tattersall Distillery, I think.
Oh, that was, yes. Did you end up with a bottle?
I did. I
did?
haven't opened it yet. I ended up with several bottles because whenever I go on a trip, especially to a distillery or Louisville, I try to bring my dad and brother a bottle home as kind of a thanks for picking up the BS
Oh, yeah.
when I was gone.
I remember
The bull slack. I like
Yes.
I made a TikTok at that place because they had drywall with only like 1.5 inches space. Random things I remember. But I was thinking, how did the guy get up there with his drywall knife to like curve around that deal? You'll have to go back to my TikToks.
that. No, I do remember you making that TikTok. Because you also made a TikTok from the bathroom.
I did because they had something jacked up in the bathroom too. I don't remember what it was.
What I remember is I found a bottle in there and I couldn't buy it because it was too expensive. I did try a shot of it and I didn't think it was that good. Kernza. Have you ever heard of that?
What?
Kernza?
Is that different than
It's like
Kubla?
it is a grass that is kind of like in the wheat family, I believe, and it's a perennial, so it continues to grow, and you can harvest it, I think, every year, or maybe it's multiple times a year. I don't know. Yield's probably not that good, but like it's one of them regenerative things like that you could, instead of putting alfalfa out there, you could do that and harvest the grain and make.
We
Bourbon.
sound like we go on vacation to drink
We eat and drink well when we travel.
when we travel.
Isn't that the biggest thing that you do on vacation is like you go to notable spots and you go to notable restaurants and like you try to, have the drink that is local.
Yeah.
So that's where I haven't done a lot of Airbnb, but I've talked to a lot of people that go on these trips and they're like, yeah, then we always go to Target and we get all of our groceries and then we can make our breakfast and we can make our lunch and we just never leave this house in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Well, it'd have to be a kick-ass house for me to not want to ever leave it. I'd rather pay for the hotel room that I'm only going to spend 6 hours in
Yep.
at most.
And then go out.
I want to go eat and drink and see things and do things, play golf, go to
Right.
whatever it is.
I would think that they're still not spending that much time there, but Airbnb usually is, if you split it up between 6 people, it's
Yeah.
about the cost of a hotel
The
room.
ones that I've
Then
stayed
you have
in-
a little bit more comfort.
Yeah. Where
Maybe
it
we
was-
should travel Airbnbs this year when we do our shows.
I'm fine with that. Although, then you don't get to stay downtown Orlando or whatever, where we're at,
Or right next to the
across the
venue.
you
street
can't
from the Hall
walk
at
to
the
the
Moon,
distillery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Type stuff. So that's,
a
I
good
mean,
point.
these trips are the biggest thing to me, and it's always been whatever farm show is. It's a networking. Like, I can walk around and look at all this stuff every time. That's cool, but the people that we meet, that's the cool stuff.
Yeah.
They had cool soil probes out there too.
I think that's true. They did. We got to make some really good content there. Kind of really was the first one to push our envelope on making
It's
custom
more content
for
creation
somebody
rather
else.
than interviewing so
Yep.
much.
Yeah.
I wish we would have interviewed on stage though,
Yeah.
That was a weird thing.
We interviewed at tables next to a stage
with nothing on the stage.
with nothing on the stage. Nobody even said anything from the stage.
And I've said that many times. It's funny, some of these really large, high dollar corporations have a big marketing agency built in, or maybe they hired a big marketing agency who went to college for marketing and all that. And it's nothing against them because I'm sure they know marketing well, print and TV and radio and all that. But this is so new, and social media is so new, like the influencer spot.
Right.
No one knows how to deal with it. And it's kind of funny because they come to us and go, all right, what's your ideas?
We're like, well, what do you want? What are your
we were
goals?
we were hoping that you would have packages and things like that. And it's like every company wants a different thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, which is fine. Got to have a place to start.
Yeah. Do you think everybody's listening to this is going to be mad that we're just bragging about where we got to travel to, or do you think it's still interesting for them?
Nah, they're gone.
Do you think they're gone? So should we keep on the same path? Should we now go to Farm Progress Show?
Yeah, might as well.
We don't have to spend a lot of time at Farm Progress Show. We did have probably the worst hotel we've ever stayed in.
Oh.
The Cockroach Inn.
Did you almost die there?
That's because
You almost died there because your door wouldn't lock or something. You
We
thought you were
almost
gonna
die.
get-
I almost die everywhere we go, apparently.
was it Grand Island. I was the one that was next to. No, you were next to the street on
Yeah,
on
that's
the
where I
ground
about
floor.
died.
Yeah, that was the worst hotel we'd ever been in, and David booked that one, so it's all.
It
his
was
fault.
It was licensed by Ramada, but it was not a Ramada.
Oh, it's not at all.
Yeah. And
Had a pool,
the pool looked fine.
no water in it.
Didn't it? Didn't? Oh, maybe it didn't.
No, it didn't. Because I brought shorts.
I had mold in my room.
That's what you said. What's the one
all
where
had mold.
we took something up and there was like leftover old trash
That was this
or
place.
something?
Yeah,
That was that
you
place.
looked behind your TV and you
Yep.
looked on top of your clothes hanging.
The
cabinet.
closet. I looked at that first because I saw like a fruit cup or something up there. And I'm like, what is up there? Half-smoked cigarette. No smoking signs anywhere.
That's
and
what
you
it
know
was.
that's probably the cleaning people.
Yeah.
And they're just rolling darts as they clean.
Yeah. So we went from Farm Progress Show. Oh, we have to. We got to say thank you to Chris. It is beautiful
Schick.
shop.
Oh, yeah.
We got to host our second annual Farm Progress Show after party.
That's where we're staying in 2 years.
Yes, we're not going to no stupid
2025
hotel.
Farm
we will
Progress
stay
Show.
at Chris's shop.
Yep. So, but the hotel was, like you said, we spent 6 hours there, and
Maybe.
the bedding felt wet when I got in, but it wasn't that big of a deal because we had such a blast.
Those
at
that
the
are
show.
still listening are cringing because they know what damp sheets, what a damp towel feels like. When you sometimes have to use one of those.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yep. Musty.
Then we were out Husker Harvest. First time ever going to Husker Harvest. We actually got let in Nebraska.
Yep.
I figured they'd shut you down at the border,
I know.
not let you in. That was a good show. It was a whole different vibe. You talk about the
Yep.
vibe of Commodity Classic, and then you go to Farm Progress Show. You go to Husker, and it is totally different.
Right. And I don't know, there was a lot of harvest activity. I think we counted 25 or 26 combines in the field, and that really picked up after Omaha over there. So maybe the traffic was a little lighter than it normally was.
Yeah.
They didn't have good food. Everywhere I went to shop for food, I was looking for the funnel cake, the something, the
Right.
just
At the
cheeseburger,
show, yeah.
and
I think someone said there was some good stuff. I just never saw it. So you had to know where to go.
I do. We did have good food again outside of the show. Mm-hmm. We had great Mexican the first night.
The Texas.
We had the barbecue.
the Texas steak place.
Yeah, what that?
Texas T-bone.
Texas T-bone.
Went there with Suka.
yeah, that was good though.
Yeah.
The salad.
It
You don't
felt
ever
like-
brag about a salad at
Oh
a
my goodness!
None of us wanted
A
to
steakhouse.
eat. None of us wanted to eat the meat because we all got way too big of a salad.
that salad though. You get a piece of paper and you get 100 choices of things that you want in your salad,
Yeah, that's right.
and they bring that sucker out, and that was good enough for me.
If I had that list of ingredients available at my house, I would probably eat salads more often.
You should have taken a picture. But then you got to have all those ingredients fresh.
I know.
So that was fun though. And then we got to go to Kale's.
Yeah. Had a little get together there. Lots of good conversations. And then the last trip we just got back from, which Dave was talking about with his Manly Stanley, was going down to U.S. Sugar, hanging out with them. The episodes that are kind of coming out maybe just 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And we really did those episodes because we were interested. I mean, one, who gets the opportunity to tour Sugarcane Farm?
Right.
And then actually understand how the process goes. I had no idea sugarcane lasted for more than a year. Excuse me.
Jeez.
Lasted
You know
for
what
more
you
than
need
a
to
year.
do before we get on the show? You need to take some Tums before we get on the show. You are extra gassy.
I don't have anything to say back to that. I don't know if I've ever. Our listeners might not find this a surprise. Our listeners have. I've never taken a Tums in my
Really?
life. I've never had a Tums.
Maybe you need some Prilosec.
I've never had an Excedrin.
What's that?
Isn't that like a really high-powered ibuprofen?
I've never had that.
I'm just sheltered. I haven't.
Yeah, and
taken
you're
it
that
in.
guy that when you had your hernia fixed or whatever, he wouldn't take the pain meds.
I didn't take the pain meds. No.
You just manned up.
It didn't hurt that bad.
Did you get the prescription at least?
No.
Come on.
I know.
Some of us might need that and not want to go to the doctor. We're farmers, right?
I learned my lesson.
Ah.
Fill all prescriptions.
Yeah. You know,
throw them later.
There's that day that you roll your ankle and it felt like it snapped off. You're not going to go to the doctor, but it's like, a Vicodin would be nice right now.
Really use a Vicodin.
Vin.
That's where you go. Well, that sums out the year. I mean, we can't. At this point in time, we can't announce where we're going this year.
Well, you missed a big event though.
What event?
The event where Tanner decided to go full-time podcasting.
Oh, that's right. I did.
He's not the banker man anymore.
No, it's just
Dan. Thank you, ma'am.
Yep, that's it. That's how you find me. Yeah.
Dan, the podcast man.
This is neat because our studio is done. Mm-hmm. We're going to be next shows that you see on YouTube.
Wait, we have a new studio?
We've got a new studio.
Oh, you want to go through the crap on that?
Oof.
That might be a show. That's a show on itself, but it has been a...
we started the remodel process in March.
Shit show, yeah.
And it will be wonderful once we're in it. But this will probably be one of the last shows, second to last show that you'll see with this camera angle.
Yeah.
If you're watching.
And then there's no excuse for not being fantastic.
We'll have to. 2024 is going to be awesome.
It will be.
I think we're going to kick 2024 off with an episode that gets everybody fired up.
Oh, yeah?
We got a lot of good comments from that motivation show we did in June. Kind of the halfway through the year where I got all those TikTok clips put together.
Yep.
So I think we're going to combine that with some foreshadowing as to where we're going, where you can see us do something cool like that.
Do you have goals for 24? Like, what should we do better?
I think we should make some.
I mean, because I listen to other podcasts. You listen to other podcasts. I listen to, Barn Talks, one of my favorites.
I don't know how you get around it, but I agree. I had that thought today listening to Rump Chat.
Yep.
Every time Rump Chat starts, I'm fired up.
Yep.
But they're always playing music that's going to get taken down.
Right. Which I wouldn't let us do today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You wanted to.
I wanted to. I wanted to break the rules.
But, I see, we always ask people to, but I don't think we really ask. Like, so what's Barn Talk say? Sawyer says, pay the fee, right? Oh. The fee to listen is share this with your friends or write a review. They have over 1,000 reviews on Spotify. I only got like 200.
Yeah.
We've been around for 4.5 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got to start. So what they did was they started giving away some of their meat boxes once a month or twice a month or something like that.
So instead of just recognizing our listeners for leaving reviews, maybe we need to up our game.
So that's a big goal.
I thought about going live during recordings.
Right. We should definitely do that.
Get some more interaction. We should have the setup to where we could do that.
Yeah. We need to get our swag game figured out. That has been a pain point for us.
Why don't you build a company store today?
It's not the store. I mean, it is, but it's the swag, right? Like,
people aren't going to want your face and my face on a T-shirt. Mm-hmm. We should just put Corey's face on a T-shirt.
See, we're not the we've always said we're not the influencers. We just interview them. So
which should be a T-shirt.
Yeah. We just put everybody's brand that we've ever interviewed, like all the high school.
Who wants to wear that?
Like the high school kids soccer.
It would be like a racing suit.
Uh-huh.
No, we tried. And Farm Focus is going to do our swag.
They will
because
do it.
We do not want to handle it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We need a fulfillment. We're not doing it to make money. We just want to do it to have, a gift to give to our customers or not customers, our guests.
I think we need more topics of what people want to listen to. This year, we still listen to the customer, the listener, but have we got a whole lot of insight, or we kind of went our own direction this year?
We did to an extent. I think we've got some pretty good lead-in. Our topic suggestions inbox has 115 emails in it.
Oh, good.
So we've got a couple.
Did you put my latest one? No, you didn't.
It hasn't gotten there yet. I haven't sorted since December 2nd.
Think of this.
Been kind of busy.
There was a New York Times article out, Dave, that there's legislation out to take Wall Street out of the housing market. like take investors out of the housing market and that kind of stuff. And I've got a guy in eastern Iowa that desperately wants to do that in ag land, which would make it more of a true price, or the farmers.
Yeah,
and
but
all that
how do
kind
you
of
how do you
stuff.
determine an investor?
That's the thing.
So
well,
what if you're a family
it's on your tax form?
of 5?
Do you file a Schedule F?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I thought of one today. So you know how we write end of the year? It's tax time.
Yep.
So we're like, man, we don't want to pay the government. Let's buy something. So let's go buy a piece of equipment we don't need, or we want, but maybe we don't need because what we have works just fine. Maybe the tax doesn't cover it, so now we need to spend a little bit more money. So we spend more money to upgrade, and we do that. So then we spent more of our capital, so less cash flow on hand, but we didn't have to pay tax. Why don't think of what the world would be like? Just picture this. What if you got incentivized to pay off your debt? So if you pay off your debt,
Yeah, like right now, there's next to no incentive.
there isn't any incentive to pay off your debt. If you paid off your debt, paid off your farm
Unless
loans,
you got
paid
a
off
new loan.
paid off your tractors, whatever, if you paid all that off, you get to write that off on taxes. I think the world would be a hell of a lot better place
You already
because
get to write it off on taxes. You'd be writing it off twice because you Section 179'd it, wrote the whole amount off to begin with. So if it's a $200,000 tractor, you wrote $200,000
correct.
off.
I mean other debt, not like land, buy farmland, or some other debt, your house payment. I don't care what it is. It's any capital debt that you'd have. New grain bins, those you might be able to 179, but anything you can't 179 that's a loan, you don't get a tax incentive to pay a loan off. I think if you did that, think of the whole world. They pay less taxes to the government if you pay down debt.
Is it forgiven though? I mean, tax deductions are really just to kick the can down the road
Until you die, and then you get stepped up basis.
And then but like we get taxed on our income, we get taxed on buying things. I mean, on every freaking single and then when you die, you get taxed. So
Yep.
I don't know. Is it really an incentive?
But yes, I think more topic suggestions would be great. Because some we got are not good. Right?
And I think also, even though that maybe we did a topic 3 years ago, you guys need to kick us and be like, hey, you should do that again. I mean, because we have way more access to guests now. We could maybe get someone way bigger.
Here's a challenge. Different. Here's our challenge to our listeners. Probably the only true listeners that are still here 40 minutes in listening to only us. If you know a professional athlete or a former professional athlete, I think it would be fun to do a series. Not just one. I think it'd be cool to take June and make June all the Farm for Fun shows talking to athletes.
We get Kelsey's on.
I got
Kelsey
one.
We could probably do that. Well, no, because then we'd probably have to have Taylor on too.
Yeah, we don't want Taylor.
No. Actually, I got to get back to Kelsey's agent. He was asking to be on, and I kind of ghosted him there for a little bit.
He needs some Prilosec.
All right, let's wrap this up. We're 45 minutes in. We thank our listeners. Merry Christmas to everybody. Right?
If you got a sad life or you're listening to this on Christmas, I feel sorry for you. But thank you.
Yes.
Cheers. Maybe your Christmas is tomorrow, with different families. That's
Maybe
the
it was
biggest-
yesterday. Maybe you did it on Sunday,
Right.
Christmas Eve.
Maybe you're supposed to be thankful in your Christmas episode and thank all the people that helped us grow the podcast. 500,000 more downloads, a couple of big sponsors and partners.
Oh, it was more than
all the
500,000.
people that helped us go to all the cool places we got to go, all the cool interviews that gave time to let us interview them.
Yep.
Yeah, we aren't anything without the guests.
Nope.
And we are by far nothing without our listeners. We could do that on our New Year's show.
Yeah.
Should we make a prediction
4?
1 year from now at our next Christmas show? What do you think? You make a wild prediction.
I bet we have plans to take some of our listeners to Germany.
That's oddly specific.
I have a feeling that there will be an overseas trip that Farm for Profit is a large factor in planning to get farmers to Agritechnica.
I think we will have another show.
Oh. Are you editing this new show?
I'm not. It's not. I don't think it will be under Farm4Profit's brand.
Okay.
We got 2 shows under one now. I think we'll have another one, maybe 2. I don't know.
We've got the studio for it.
Right, like because we're always in this lane, and then we need to kind of. Like we can always talk about a topic, but we can't stay in that topic's lane. But that maybe that topic warrants its own show.
That's good. You got a prediction, Dave?
No, he had me thinking about a farmland podcast. So now I was off base.
That's fine. Listeners, thank you. Really do. We thank you. And if you're a sponsor partner listening to this as well, thank you so much for the support in 2023. Have yourself a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Rope all of that together. And until next time, we'll see you then.